it's by caring about my weight, by caring about my health, by caring about my diet, that my stress level is much more manageable and my health is much more manageable. And that's how I've prevented that kind of burnout from happening again. Because I still work very, very hard, but I also turn off work much more than I ever used to. So I'm often asked about my burnouts. And I have had 3 burnouts over my business career that I'm going to walk you through what happened in those burnouts and also how I recovered from those burnouts, because I'm actually in a really, really good place right now. I'll share a photo with you in this video of me, 13 years ago now, when I weighed 42 pounds heavier than I do today. I was up to 222 pounds. This morning I was about 181 pounds. Anyway, let's roll the camera back 24 years back to October of 2000. Even July of 2000 is when this actually happened. One of my teammates tapped me on the shoulder in the elevator and asked me if I was okay because he visibly saw that I was stressed. And I turned around to say, yes, I was fine. And I collapsed on the floor of the elevator and started crying. And I was basically having a nervous breakdown. I thought I was totally fine. Clearly, I was not fine. Anyway, a couple of days later, I went to the doctor just for a routine physical. I was buying a home. And the doctor had to get a physical to be able to get insurance for the house, for the mortgage. So when I was getting the physical, the doctor said, how's it going? I said, that's pretty good. I've got this weird metallic taste or kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like a taste or a metallic feeling even at the back of my neck. He said, well, tell me what's going on. And I said, well, we just sold the company and the stock market has crashed by 78%. This was when the NASDAQ had crashed. And my mom has cancer and just bought a home and my wife's pregnant and I realized I'm not really in love. And the stories went on. And he's like, wow. And so he gave me this test to go through. And it's a test where you write down all of the things that are happening to you. And then they grade all of those things on a point system. And if you get 150 points on the test, you have a 50% chance of a heart attack. If you get 250 points, you have a 90% chance of a heart attack. I had 435 points. I was clinically redlining, which means that there was a chemical secretion being caused by stress and it was causing me to burn out. What was happening at the time was I was drinking red wine and Grand Marnier every night, dinners. I wasn't really getting any exercise. I was going for runs, but they were like half a mile. Maybe I was going every 2 weeks. Certainly wasn't in very good shape. And I was smoking 3 or 4 days a week. I wasn't at the weight that I got up to, but I certainly was not healthy. I was eating poorly. Every time I would get back to Vancouver, I would eat Big Macs and just really, really in rough shape. Anyway, so I decided that I had to get my shit together. I moved back to Vancouver and my son was being born. So I started playing in some sports and decided to start getting some fitness. So I ran my first half marathon and started to get my weight under control and cut back on the drinking and certainly cut back on the smoking. So really what happened there was I cut back on the drinking, cut back on the smoking, started running a lot, ran a couple of half marathons. But I started opening up to a forum group. I was in a mastermind community called EO. And that EO forum is when I started to share information with the other members of the forum. And I was able to really get some support from them on being able to get better. So that was very helpful. Second thing was just about 7 years later, it started again. So when I was building out 1-800-GOT-JUNK, I became a bit of a workaholic again. I started working extra hours, working long hours, really not eating healthy again, was very unhappy in my marriage. My wife had done nothing wrong. I just realized that I felt trapped, was eating like, wasn't smoking, but was drinking, really started to drink at nights around that point. So even though I'd gotten my health back through the running, I started to drink at nights. I was eating ice cream at night with chocolate chips and white chocolate chips and eating a bag of potato chips every other night. The big bags, I was eating half a bag every couple nights. And my weight got up to 222 pounds. I went on a heli skiing trip and got injured. And then I got injured the following season skiing. And I realized I was in bad shape. And I was embarrassed that I wasn't in shape to go heli skiing because I used to be quite a good skier. So I decided to start going to the gym and working out with a trainer and got my weight from about 222 pounds down to 195 pounds. From doing that kind of working out in the gym and working out with the trainer and getting that kind of exercise, that started to get me into much better shape. It began around eating. So then I met my wife now, and we've been together now for about 6 years. And this is the transition that really got me into gear. It was about caring about my diet, eating healthier. I stopped drinking almost 10 months ago now. I still snack every once in a while, probably more than I should. Sugar is definitely my downfall. But I weigh myself every morning. I travel with a scale in my backpack so I can weigh myself every morning. If I end up in a random hotel, like my scale broke about 3 weeks ago, so I asked the hotel that I'm in right now in Korea if I could borrow a scale for the week, and I still weigh myself every single day. I go to the gym. I try to book Airbnbs that are either close to a gym or have a gym facility. And it's by caring about my weight, by caring about my health, by caring about my diet, that my stress level is much more manageable and my health is much more manageable. And that's how I've prevented that kind of burnout from happening again. Because I still work very, very hard, but I also turn off work much more than I ever used to. So another big lesson that I learned over the time that helps me control stress and control burnout is I realized I'm never going to get all the work done, right? I'm never going to actually catch up on all of that work. I'm never going to, get my to-do list accomplished. So I've stopped trying to get my to-do list accomplished. I started to realize that the work is still going to be there in the morning. I'm still going to set more goals in the morning. So I may as well stop working and then tomorrow just work a good solid day again. So I don't work weekends. I don't work nights. And very frequently, I'm never working Fridays. So that balance has really helped me. The other thing that's really helped me out is towards the end of the day, around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I go hit the gym. So right now I'm very cognizant of time. I'm going to film 4 or 5 videos today, and then I'm going to go to the gym again, go to get a workout in. And that really separates my work day from the rest of my life. So some big lessons have helped me to get through the burnout. Some of it is by talking about it. Some of it's by exercise, definitely with diet, definitely with surrounding myself with people who are not workaholics and who care about fitness. There's that old saying that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I 100% agree with that. You are definitely the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So for me, spending time with the right people has actually helped to raise my game and my ability to manage stress and my ability to get more done and my ability to have a better lifestyle. And one of those people is definitely my wife, Ashley.